Bro, the Knicks and the Clippers want to trade for Russell Westbrook. So a trade came out that said the Clippers and the Knicks have interest in trading for the 2016 NBA MVP. The Knicks I can understand because their owner is probably the worst in sports history. So that's understandable. But the Clippers with Jerry West, unless Jerry West got something up his sleeve, I don't understand. First for the Knicks, right? Russell Westbrook is making $38 million a year. So in order for this to happen, this is the trade I came up with, right? So we have Russell Westbrook for Julius Randle, Taj Gibson, Alfred Payton, and Dennis Smith Jr. I know it's a lot, but obviously if the trade was to happen, this is not the exact trade. This is just to make the contracts work. So I guess New York is trying to bring the show back to New York, man. That's the only thing I can think of. They're not making this trade because they believe Westbrook is the missing piece to a championship. They're gonna probably make the playoffs around a 5, 6, or 7 seed, go out in the first round. Another thing is, I mean, I'm not hating on Westbrook, but how will the Knicks young players improve? I mean, how? I mean, we've seen Victor Oladipo blossom in Indiana, right? We've seen guys move on from Westbrook and just blossom not because he's a bad player, it's because he needs the ball. So how is RJ Barrett gonna earn his big contract? He's gonna want a contract when his time is ready. How is he gonna get his contract? Kevin Knox is already has bust written all over him. How is he gonna prove himself otherwise? But all I can say is, if this trade does go through, Westbrook could probably go off for another 3 years of averaging a triple-double. If this does go through, and he's in New York, on his own. So with the Clippers now, I'm assuming Kawhi and PG are untouchables, but I'll do either scenario. So let's say they do move on from Paul George. The trade would be Paul George and Zubac for Westbrook. And I didn't want to give up Zubac, but I needed to make the contracts work, right? So Houston actually gets better with this, because you've got James Harden and Paul George. Paul George is a wing defender that the Rockets need, and if they do get Zubac, he'll be the big that they need as well. I can put them as contenders up there with the Lakers, but they don't have the same mentality. They don't have the winning mentality. I mean, Harden and Paul George on the same team. I mean, damn. I mean, we can already guess. If the game gets tight, hey, the first row better look out, because, Paul George is going to hit them with that air ball. But anyway, I can't put them as contenders because, they don't show up in the playoffs. But a Harden and PG duo would be one of the best in the league, right? And if you look at this from the Clippers standpoint, I don't know how this will work, because I'll put it like this. 2014 Westbrook is a better version of what 2021 Westbrook will be, right? So Westbrook in 2014 will probably be better than what Westbrook will be in 2021. I mean, he's going to be 31. He just came off an injury this year. I mean, he's not getting any better. I mean, 2014, he was a monster, man. Athleticism, everything, all in one. So you have Russell Westbrook, who's not as good as himself. You've got Kawhi. Whether he's better than 2014 KD or not, but I'm using 2014 because that's the time they made the finals, right? So you have 2014 KD is probably better than 2021 Kawhi. And you have Westbrook, who's a lesser version of themselves. And that team made one finals. Only one. So what would a Westbrook and Kawhi duo do in 2021? Considering that the West is no joke, man. I mean, I made a video before talking about 2021 Western Conference. It might be the toughest of all time. I mean, the 8th seed might win 50 games this year. It might win 50 games this year. You got the Warriors coming back. You got all of them. So, as I was saying, they'd be better off keeping Paul George and running it back. And for the other scenario, where the Clippers keep Paul George and just get Russell Westbrook somehow, I was running the numbers and I realized there's really no way for the Clippers to keep Paul George in a Westbrook trade without gutting out their whole team. And I didn't want to trade for everybody for Westbrook because I thought it would be too unrealistic to use in a video, right? They would never do that in real life unless they did somehow, but I think it's unrealistic. So that'll never work. But yeah, man. Russell Westbrook and Kawhi Leonard. 2020, this is what we've come to. Without further ado, if you like the video, comment, subscribe. We on the road to 15 subscribers, bro. We're gonna get there, man. We're gonna get there. Y'all stay safe out there, man.
Knicks.